No DQ Galaxy. We are live with a recap of Friday Night Smackdown for October 27th, 2023. Happy Halloween weekend, everyone. We are just now a week away until WWE Crown Jewel 2023. WWE is taping the go-home episode of SmackDown. You could check out spoilers over at nodq.com, as well as live coverage of Crown Jewel. But anyways, let's get to SmackDown. Chat room, leave your comments, leave your thoughts on the show. I'll post some of the comments here on the screen. We did get a confirmation from People Magazine. It will be John Cena versus Solo Sikoa at Crown Jewel. Big surprise, right, guys? I mean, we knew it was coming. People Magazine got the scoop. There you go. Good for you, People Magazine. You got the scoop on that one. And no, I will not be recapping next week's SmackDown since it is a taped show. But I will be recapping Crown Jewel, of course, right here on the No DQ YouTube channel. We kicked off SmackDown with the contract signing, LA Knight and Roman Reigns. I did like what they presented here with this contract signing, though. Roman Reigns came out, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, here we go, the usual 5-minute intro, but bam, as Roman Reigns was holding up the title by the stage, LA Knight interrupted Roman's lengthy entrance. LA Knight just walked right past him, got into the ring. Paul Heyman came into the ring and took Knight's chair and put it in the middle where Roman usually sits at the head of the table for the contract signings. And LA Knight just sat right there in the seat, in the head of the table spot. I liked this a lot. And I was even thinking to myself as Knight came to the ring, he should do that. He should sit in the center where Reigns always sits. And sure enough, he did it. Good stuff here. Of course, they did the usual back and forth promo routine. Roman Reigns told LA Knight that since it's his first championship match, Reigns is going to go easy on him for his first time. Called him sweetheart. What a nice gentleman Roman Reigns is. But LA Knight said that yes, it is his first time, but he only needs one time. He only needs one shot. He's not going to miss his chance to blow. He said that while Roman Reigns was failing, saying suffering succotash, he actually brought up that line, he's been moving along, and the gravy train is not stopping, according to LA Knight. Roman Reigns clearly not happy that LA Knight brought up the infamous suffering succotash line from 2015. Reigns flipped the table over onto Knight and attacked him. Knight managed to fight back. Jimmy Uso showed up, of course, and Knight fought back, put Jimmy Uso through a table. Good segment here. I thought it was well done. I usually do not like the contract signing segments, but I did enjoy this one for what it was. Crowd was into it also. They were chanting Roman's scared. We had our first match of the evening, which was Carlito and Santos Escobar against the Street Profits. Now, the Profits, with Bobby Lashley, they have brand new entrance music. Chat room, what did you think of the new music? it was needed, right? The old music, gonna get the crowd pop. These guys are heels now. So it was needed, but the music was generic as hell. Like, first of all, the volume sounded very low for the music, and it just lacked an oomph. Very generic music. Could be for pretty much anybody. Like, it doesn't feel like it fits the Street Profits. And maybe that's the problem. Maybe WWE doesn't know who these guys are supposed to be now. The music just doesn't really tell anything about the characters. So, yes, it's good they got new music, but the music sucks. And that's Def Rebel for you. Anyways, Carlito got distracted very early on in the match. And Corey Graves had a great line here. He's like, Carlito knows better than that because he's a veteran, right? Bingo. Why are these guys getting distracted? Especially when they're veterans. Like, I get it. If you're a rookie, you're going to be distracted. But Carlito, of all people, should know better. I agree 100% with Corey Graves. Now, it was a pretty standard tag team match. Rey Mysterio was watching backstage. Bad guys had the upper hand for a while, but then Carlito got a hot tag. Ford was able to avoid the backstabber, and then things started to break down. Santos tagged back in, and then Logan Paul attacked Rey Mysterio backstage and laid him out with the one punch. Now, Carlito was concerned, not sure what to do. Santos told him to go backstage and check on Rey. So that's what Carlito did. Santos tried to win the match 1-on-2, but ultimately was unsuccessful. Profits picked up the win with their double team finisher, the Revelation. Carlito takes an L. Santos takes an L. Not really surprised by this. Profits needed the win, but what I think they need even more is better entrance music, but that's just me. And you build up Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio. That was fine. Backstage, we had Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Heyman had a Green Bay Packers championship title. WWE was in Milwaukee. He said he's going to give it to LA Knight because it's the closest Knight and the Packers will ever come to being champions. Man, that's some quality cheap heat right there. Jimmy Uso came in after being put through the table by Knight, laying on the couch, and Roman Reigns was not amused by this. And he told Heyman to make the match LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso in the main event. We also had a backstage segment. Kevin Owens ran into Logan Paul, so maybe we got a little bit of a tease for the future after Logan Paul perhaps wins the U.S. title. And then Austin Theory and Grayson Waller got in Owens' face and things got heated, and Owens ended up punching both of them with one shot. Makes these guys look like total goofballs, but whatever. We had a Dragon Lee backstage promo, and he talked about being happy to be on SmackDown, and he was approached by Cedric Alexander. Alexander said Lee reminds him of himself when he broke into WWE, and Alexander issued a challenge to Lee for a match, and they had a handshake, and the match was set up for later in the show. We had Shotzi versus Chelsea Green. And whenever Chelsea's in a match one-on-one, she ain't winning. She's got the tag team titles, but the titles are jokes at this point. Basic match here. Piper Niven was out there. And Chelsea got in a good amount of offense. She took down Shotzi with a side Russian leg sweep off of the second rope and then got her on the top, dropped Shotzi face first, and then Chelsea hit a missile drop kick, but she went for an arrogant cover, and Shotzi countered it and got the 1-2-3 victory. And the announcers even acted like it was basically an upset, which was it really? I mean, Chelsea really doesn't win matches when it's one-on-one. Not much to say about it. It was what it was. Not really sure what it's building to. Probably just we got to get a women's match on the show, so this was that. We had the greatest of all time, according to who you ask, but he's definitely up there. John Cena came to the ring for a promo, and he really stressed how serious this match against Solo Sikoa is. He feels like even though the fans support him, he's worried he's going to lose that support and respect. The crowd chanted, "You still got it," but he said, what if he doesn't? He wants to keep the ride going, and because of that, there's only one thing to do at Crown Jewel, and that's win. Paul Heyman interrupted, gave Cena a handshake, and thanked John Cena for the sold-out crowd, but then Heyman did what Heyman did. He did bring up how he picked John Cena from OVW back in 2002. Cena's been the greatest, but then 2 years ago at SummerSlam, Roman Reigns proved that John Cena is no longer the greatest. Heyman brought up how great John Cena is on the mic. Still the greatest. Could have been the greatest talker, could have been Paul Heyman. But Cena pissed off the bloodline. And now all it's going to take is a Samoan spike, and Cena will lose his moneymaker. He'll no longer be able to talk. Heyman said in the one match where Cena must win, he can't win. And that's not a prediction. That is a spoiler. And right on cue, Solo Sikoa attacked Cena from behind and left him laying with the Samoan spike. Great segment here with these guys. Cena, always on point. Same thing with Heyman. Solo got the heat to build up the match. And we'll talk about this more next week when we do our predictions for Crown Jewel, which will be right here on the No DQ YouTube channel. If you're enjoying this video, please give it a thumbs up and spread the word. Tell a friend about the channel. It would be very much appreciated. LA Knight cut a brief backstage promo to hype up the main event. Then we had Dragon Lee versus Cedric Alexander. Good match here with these two. Back and forth, competitive match. Not a ton of high flying. They did a little bit, but they also did some mat wrestling. Definitely not a squash match by any means. Cedric got in plenty of moves, and they even showed a video package for Cedric, so they did not give him the total jobber treatment. Unfortunately, the fans are like, it's Cedric. And there was even a sign that said bathroom break. I mean, I feel bad for the guy. Poor Cedric. Crowd did get into it. I mean, they were having a very good match here. And Cedric got in a few near falls on Dragon Lee, but ultimately Dragon Lee picked up the win with his finishing move. Not sure what it's called at this point. And after the match, Cedric gave him some props, raised his hand, It was solid showcase, and Cedric looked pretty solid in defeat. We then had footage shown of Bianca Belair returning last week. She came to the ring for a promo. Damage Control was watching backstage, and she showed the footage of them kayfabe storyline injuring her from a couple of months ago. And she said that she was out for the first time. She was sitting at home, and she thought about her vengeance. And she went to Nick Aldis, and the match was set up for Crown Jewel. Io Sky will defend her championship against Bianca Belair. And next week, Bianca is going to get a piece of Bayley. Promo was all right. She did stumble a little bit on her words, but got the match set up for Crown Jewel. No big surprises here. We had our main event of the evening, which was LA Knight versus Jimmy Uso. Back and forth match here. Wasn't a classic or anything. Crowd was very much into it, though. They were chanting Jay is better, and Jimmy got the upper hand when he just a regular suplex to LA Knight on the ring apron. But then Knight made his comeback, did the stomps. Jimmy had to escape to the outside of the ring, and Knight went after him. Knight drilled Jimmy's head into the announce table repeatedly, got him back in the ring, but then Jimmy hit a Samoan drop. Knight kicked out of that. Jimmy came off the top with the Uso splash. Knight kicked out again. Jimmy went back to the top. Knight jumped up, did his thing where he jumps up to the top, delivered the superplex, and then pinned Jimmy Uso with the BFT, the blunt force trauma. Roman Reigns attempted to spear Knight after the match, but Knight countered and took down the champ with the BFT as SmackDown went off the air. We still have one more SmackDown. We'll see what happens if Roman gets some heat or if Knight continues the momentum, but I'm still not expecting a title change here. Again, we'll talk about the predictions next week on the YouTube channel. Shout out to Walter Cruz, who sent in a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, Walter. Check out his channel, by the way, Rage of Wrestling. He says, is Bianca too popular to pair with her husband and join a heel group? Then again, hell, Rhea is part of Judgment Day. She's cheered, but still in a heel group. I say do it. I agree with you. I think Bianca needs to get away from Damage Control for one thing. This is played out. It's had its run. It's been going on now for over a year. I think Bianca should go heel. I know she's got her fan base, but she just needs some kind of an evolution in her character. And she played a great heel in NXT. I think that she just needs to evolve a little bit. Like, same thing with Charlotte. They both feel like they've been the same character their entire time on the main roster. And, you know, in order to take that next step, you got to evolve. And that's what the Street Profits are doing now with the heel turn. They just need better music. Bianca, I could definitely see a change benefiting her. Look at Bayley. Bayley is a great example. Turning heel really added some depth to her character and was something she needed. Like, she was somewhat one-dimensional with the happy-go-lucky Bayley buddies and all that. Bianca, she's kind of like a female John Cena, but I do think that she needs some kind of a change. Anyways, in regards to the shirt, got that at, I believe, Kohl's, but I'm not positive. Anyways, SmackDown was not bad. It was not a top-tier SmackDown. It was more or less filler, but the stuff was good. Solid build-up. I give it a B-. Not like a must-see show, But the LA Knight stuff I thought was well done to set up the world title match. John Cena's segment with Heyman was very well done. It was effective as far as building up interest in Crown Jewel. So for that, I did enjoy the show, but I wouldn't say it was must see. That's it for the SmackDown recap. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, please spread the word. Tell a friend. It's the 25-year anniversary of NoDQ.com. So if you want to support the website, head over to NoDQ.com/merch. A couple of new t-shirts up there. And of course, all the other ones. Check that out. And remember, say yeah to NoDQ.com. And I will see you all next time.